Hey y'all, what's up? This is Ralph Vargas, aka the Funky Drummer. I wanted to give you my experience and entry to the Rooftop experience. It was a mutual drummer who I know named Danny Atherton. May he rest in peace. He was working with, in the early days, Teddy Riley had a band on 126, 127th Street in an abandoned building in the basement. And Danny took me down there to meet his band, and that's how we all met. That was my first time meeting the whole band. And long story short, Danny has been out on the road with so many recording acts. And at some point, he finally left for good. And they had called me in to sub for him, in which I did. At that point, I got a chance to work with the group. We went in the studio. I think the studio was Unique Recording Studios. I think they were down at 47th Street somewhere off of Broadway. I was working with producer Royal Bayonne, and we worked on a couple of demos and recorded a couple of demos. And the group back then was called Atlantis, if I remember correctly. From there, we used to rehearse at the Rooftop. That's how I got into the Rooftop. We used to rehearse upstairs. We used to rehearse in the I guess the party or lounge area upstairs, and sometimes downstairs in the RINK when it was closed. We used to rehearse they had a little stage area in the corner there, so we rehearsed there. And then from there, said he was working upstairs in his recording studio. I think it was called Rooftop Recording Studios. And at the time, I had a electronic drum kit by it was called Simmons Electronic Kit. He wanted to borrow the brain so that he can hook it up with his equipment and get the sounds that he needed for his early recordings of some hip-hop tracks back in the day. And plus, I had lived in the neighborhood. I grew up at 2668th Avenue, the Drew Hamilton project over there. And then even after that, I was working with Willie for a good while. Willie had his bar on 125th Street. And I was working in there with a mutual friend of mine in the band for a lot of years. And then he opened up a new one on 145th Street, but that didn't last too long there because they were going to demolish the area and build the residential buildings that they have up there now, that exist now. So that was my short entry into the Rooftop experience, and it was a wonderful experience. I heard so many groups and acts that have gone through there. So that's my short experience on it. Peace out, y'all.